a super challenge. We put Superintendent Lindsay to the test to find out in 2 minutes what's new in MCS. And we'll meet Mike Ripperger, Director for the Marion Regional Career Center. All that coming up in just a moment in this episode of the Giant Showcase.
Welcome to the Giant Showcase. We are spotlighting excellence in the arts, athletics, and academics. We have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Angela Stepp, and in just a moment, we are going to be joined by the director of the Marion Regional Career Center, and his name is Mike Ripperger, and he's going to be taking us on a tour of a lot of the exciting opportunities that these students are offered there, including like aeronautics. Did you know that was offered? And then in a little bit, we're going to be talking with the superintendent of Marion Community Schools, Brad Lindsay, and he has some giant national news that he's going to be sharing with us. Now, we have a lot to get to and just a few minutes to do it in, so we're going to jump right into it. Mike, welcome to the show. So glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a joy. You know, within the Marion Community School system, they are committed to making sure that there is something for everybody. And as the director of the Marion Regional Career Center, you can attest to this firsthand.
Yes, not all of our kids, we realize not all of our kids are going to go to a traditional 4-year college. So we want to provide some hands-on experience and provide our kids with some dual credits in case they go on to associates or a bachelor's. They are prepared, but we also want to provide them some certifications. So as they graduate from high school, they can immediately go out into the field and receive a good paying job.
Tell me a little bit about the real life, real world experiences that you're offering to students.
A perfect example of that is our welding program. Our welding program probably does this better than any of the others. But what we have set up is that all of our programs are 2-year programs.
Okay.
But then that second half of that second year, they are out in the jobs in the real world working for our local employers. We have kids working for Grant County Steel, Marion Steel, Wiley Metals. We have kids that drive up the Markle to Nove. So we've just tried to provide them that real life situation, and the kids love it. So
you know what, now Mike, we have some footage of some of the lab work that the students are given an opportunity to have that hands-on experience so they can get that real world, real life experience. So we're going to put some of that on the screen. Would you talk us through what we're seeing so that folks can kind of get an idea of what the students are doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So here is our welding lab, which is brand new this year. Here's a kid doing a little bit of a welding. And then after they weld, they have to take it, dip it in that tank there to cool it down. And then they sand off their welds because you don't want to have any rough edges. So then after they're done with that, they will take that to the instructor, Brad Hodup, who is a past Career Center graduate. And he will grade them, give them some expertise, and they might go repeat the process until they have it down.
Now, I'm seeing, you know, there's a lot of sparks, a lot of flame and whatnot, so kind of a dangerous scenario. So safety, really important. Are they taught proper safety skills?
Yes, the first assignment for the welding group is OSHA certification. So that is one certification that our kids will graduate with, that when they go to interview with somebody, we'll give them a heads up because they will already have that OSHA certification, which will then also save the employer money because the employer won't have to train them or send them to training. So yes, safety is definitely a key.
Well, then let me switch over into another topic. We'll talk about something then that I mentioned just earlier, and that's aeronautics. Now, folks, I want you to stop for a minute. I want you to think back to when you were in high school. Did you ever imagine that you would be offered an opportunity to learn about perhaps piloting and maintaining aircraft? Well, that is something that the students within the Marion Regional Career Center have an opportunity to do. Mike, would you share with us a little bit about the aeronautic program that you're offering?
Yes, this is a brand new program for us. It is truly a 3 to 4 year academy. This first year, kids are taking an introduction course, and this way you've seen on the screen now. The kids took a field trip out to our award-winning Marion Regional Airport. Pilot Dave Small and Mr. Darlington talked to the kids, showed them the planes, showed them how to do a pre-flight inspection, and then the kids actually went up in the planes with them.
They actually got to fly in the air.
And for about 10, 15 minutes, each kid got to fly that plane with the co-pilot there. So when you see after the plane took off, that plane is being controlled by one of our students. And you should have saw their faces. That one kid got out. When they got out there, they were booming from ear to ear. So it was just a neat experience.
I'm so glad that that is something that the students have a chance to experience. And then I'm also curious, what kind of fields of career interest might they pursue? I know that seems kind of like an obvious question, but it's not just about piloting.
No, it's just not about piloting. And the aviation folks have told us there is a high demand for it. And that's one of the reasons why we started the program. We just didn't want to start programs we thought were cool. We wanted to start programs that our kids could go out and get a good paying job in it. There's careers as a mechanics part that you've already mentioned, which is a 2-year program for us where the kids actually work on the airplanes. They're going to take that class at the Marion Regional Airport. The kids could also then take a flight class where they learn how to fly. And then there's also an aviation operations, which is all the background stuff, the people running the controllers, those people that make sure the planes get from point A to point B. And those are all very important jobs. So those are all jobs that are in high demand right now. So we want to make sure that we get those jobs out to our kids. You know, it's such a great opportunity for them to have that exposure and kind of get their feet wet and see if that's a field that they might want to pursue for a career one day. Yeah, so and it saves the kids some money. You know, now they're finding out with us instead of going to college and then changing their mind. So glad that you point that out because, you know, the field of aviation, that can be a very expensive field to get into. And if you're not real sure about it, it can be kind of an expensive investment to change your mind on later on down the road, right? Very, very expensive. Right. Well, now I'm just keeping an eye on time. So remember, we got to jump through here. So, you know, another program that you offer that has been soaring in popularity lately is nursing. And you think about the fact that our population is living longer and growing, right? And the demand for capable, adequate home care, or, health care, nursing, that demand is increasingly growing. Yes, it's another high demand. We actually have 2 teachers in this classroom, Betsy Rice and Julie Wilmer, and we have a great partnership with TLC Management who runs some of the nursing homes. Our kids will go out into their nursing homes because part of their CNA certification is they have to have so many hours in the nursing home. So the kids are going out the second semester of their junior year, getting those hours in, earning their certification, and then their senior year, once again, those kids that second semester will have a chance to go out and do a internship for those nursing homes, working with the people, getting great expertise, great experience to allow them put on their resume to be able to find a job once they graduate from high school. That's great. Well, you know what, Mike, we need to pause for a really quick break. And when we come back, we are going to continue talking about the opportunities offered here at the Marion Regional Career Center. And, you know, I want you to keep in mind that what the students are learning today, that is going to be impacting our tomorrow. So you want to stay tuned. We've got some Giant national news coming later in the show, so don't miss that. We'll be right back with some more Giant Showcase in just a moment.
They step up. Our service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Beyond all the hospitals and doctors and surgeries they need just to survive, they also deserve whatever they need to truly live. All the in-home care and day-to-day help they need to live independently, on their own terms. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs were established to provide these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence at no cost, for life. So many of them need us, and it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
You're watching WSOT-TV, North Central Indiana and Western Ohio's source for family programming you can trust.
Welcome back to the Giant Showcase. We are so glad that you are joining us as we've been talking with the director of your Marion Regional Career Center, Mike Ripperger. And we were just talking about some of the amazing different career opportunities that the students have available to them through the Career Center and the ability to apply the knowledge that they learn there into real life hands-on application. And one of the ways that the students are able to do that, Mike, is through your graphic design program. You know, it's a fast-paced industry. Correct. Graphic design is, and it's really one that we kind of take for granted. It's kind of like trying to imagine the world without color.
Correct. Very much. Very much.
You think about everything from broadcast media to your print publications, your internet visual media, even your packaging on the products that we buy every day. Mm-hmm. All of those areas are influenced by graphic design.
Right.
And so the students there at the Marion Regional Career Center are learning graphic design, and I'm curious, how is it that you're preparing them to enter into careers within that field?
That's one thing that our teacher there does, Cammie Tedder. She does a great job. This is her first year for teaching with us, but she's also another past Career Center graduate, Marion Area Regional Career Center graduate. And that's one of the things she wanted to do this year is get those kids ready to go out and be productive citizens. So one of the things we've done, we've upgraded our lab to the most recent version of Microsoft Adobe software. So the kids in that program are truly learning on the most state-of-the-art equipment that's possible. So that way, when the kids go out for a job interview, they are ready for any questions that they could be asked on.
Well equipped. You know, you think about some of the skills that the students are learning right now when they get into their respective careers within the graphic design field. They're going to be able to impact our perception of tomorrow, our perception of the world. And you think about their ability to find employment right out of high school. That's something that is so important, and that's something that you place great emphasis on, correct?
Yes, we place, on all of our programs, we place a great emphasis on job career, job fair, getting those kids ready for real life situations. All of our programs have it set up where they do some type of internship or job shadowing or some type of field experience. And a lot of those kids are going out, graduating, and earning great pay. One of our past welding students currently is making 6 figures with the expertise he learned in our program and not even gone on and pursued other further education environment. He graduated from the Marion Regional Career Center with the certifications in AWS and OSHA certifications, and now he's making 6 figures.
Wow. And you know, that's something that I'm noticing. All of the different career paths that students are able to study through the Career Center, all of those are something that they're going to be able to find employment readily right out of school as a graduate, and the income is not laughable.
Yeah, that's one of the things when we look at adding programs or continuing programs. We just don't want to continue programs that I think is cool. We want to have programs that prepare the kids for real life situation after they graduate from high school. So we want programs that will produce jobs, provide certifications. Mm-hmm. So when the kids put on the resume, I have this certification, that gives them a heads up advantage over some other client.
And speaking of advantages and hands-on and the certification and whatnot, let's switch over into your building and construction program. We're going to put some graphics on the screen so that folks can watch. But I want you to tell us a little bit about the building and construction program and some of the hands-on opportunities that the students are given.
Our construction trades program is taught by Gabe Galvin. He's also a Marion Area Regional Career Center graduate. He actually won the Golden Hammer Award his senior year. And here you can see this is a house that we did last year, but we went back in this year and gave it a fresh coat of paint. This is a house for Habitat Humanity. We have a partnership with Habitat Humanity. We build a house every year for Habitat Humanity. This year, the house is currently on Boot Street. So it's at 1212 South Boot Street, and it's actually right behind a house we did 3 years ago.
Wow, so folks can actually go by then to the 1212 Booth Street and check that out. And another impressive thing that I think viewers would like to know is that Gabe not only was a recipient of the Golden Hammer Award, but he was also a Teacher of the Year.
Yes, last year he was awarded the NCCER Teacher of the Year for the state of Indiana. So he's very proud of that. We're very proud of him for that. And this is truly a program that we are a step ahead of all the other career centers. We were the first ones to switch to that NCCER curriculum, and now Ivy Tech has. So all these other career centers are coming to us or calling us and seeing how we do things.
And that excellence, I think, speaks to, in your educators, that speaks to the quality of education that the students then are receiving as well. And you should be very proud of that.
We're proud of all of our teachers and all of our programs.
We just have a couple minutes left in this segment, and I really want to jump into something that I think is so important. And that's your information technology, the computer coding area of career interest. Folks, you used to be able to go to the store and you could buy a pack of gum, right? You pay cash and the clerk would count the money back to you. And it was a very simple transaction, right? Well, nowadays, because we are so integrated within this global economy, that's pretty much impossible now to do without the use and the aid of computers. And how do you think that those work? Well, it's because you have experts that are trained within the field of information technologies, and they are the ones making that all happen. And that is something that you are taking very seriously as you prepare the students to enter into this very broad field of employment.
Correct. And one of the very first things that the students did this year is they had to build their own computers. We had 22 kids in the program. So we bought the parts and pieces for 22 computers, stuck them in boxes by their desks. And that was their very first assignment. They had to go out and build their computers. Here you see some of our kids. They're doing internships at each one of our schools. This one's at Justice, and the kids are going through updating the software, updating the programs on those computers, which saves our IT money. Plus, then it saves our IT staff to go out and do some of the harder jobs. But once again, the kids are getting hands-on experience right there inside the Career Center.
Hands-on. It's a great thing to see that you are offering students the basics so that they can then figure out what direction that they want to pursue in the ever-changing landscape of information technologies. It is so vast, and the income opportunity is incredible.
Yeah, so once again, we want to offer programs at Marion Area Regional Career Center that provides our kids a good living, and IT is one of those. We are actually a Microsoft Office Imaging Academy, so we have a partnership with that little computer company that some people might have heard of, and they provide us free software certifications and free software, so our kids can take all those Word certifications tests with our kids right there in our lab, and not have to pay a dime for it.
Usually those certifications are expensive.
Yes, usually when a kid goes out to take one of those certifications, usually it's $150 per test, and you're looking at testing over Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, so that all adds up. But because of our partnership with Microsoft, we are allowed to provide that certifications to our students free of cost.
Well, you know what? We need to pause for another break, but I want to let everyone know, what he's talking about. Those certifications, those are very costly. They can run into the hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars, depending upon the certification that you are seeking. And the fact that the students are able to go ahead and get those certifications upon graduation or upon completing the course, that speaks volumes, because that's saving them money. He just said it was free to them to be able to take those courses. And I can tell you, if you are going to be seeking a career within information technologies, if you do not have certification, the employers won't even look at you. So this is a really good leg up that the school system is giving to its graduates. So now I want to ask you, how connected are you? We're going to give you a chance to find out here in just a few minutes when we have Superintendent Brad Lindsay joining us. We're going to put him to the test, and we're going to give him a chance to share a speedy report along with some national Giant news that you don't want to miss out on. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Giant Showcase in just a moment.
In many ways, my job at Boeing feels like a continuation of my role in the Air Force Reserve, refueling aircraft at 20,000 feet. They say the dream job is something you do for free. I have that dream job.
Start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve.
Welcome back to the Giant Showcase. We hope that you've been enjoying today's show. Beside me here is the director of Marion Regional Career Center, Mike Ripperger, and we have been talking about a lot of great opportunities that the Marion Community School System is offering to students who are participating with the various courses offered there. Now, I want to let you know, Mike, that I was super impressed to find out how well integrated the learning processes for the different courses that are offered in the high school as well as through the Regional Career Center with what you're doing in something that's a brand new venture.
Yeah, and the Culinary Arts program is a perfect example of that. The Bistro, which is located out on the bypass.
Brand new, the Giant Bistro.
Giant Bistro, brand new this year. We've had it inside the Career Center building before, but we are the first school that I know of that has actually opened up our own restaurant out in the public where kids don't have to, or public doesn't have to come in. Here you can see a picture of it. Here you can see people enjoying the environment. And if you notice on the tables, there's placemats there and menus. Those are placemats and tables, menus that were designed by our graphics class.
Which we were just talking about.
There's Chef Huber, a past Marion graduate. And then another thing we're doing to try to incorporate all different classes into this experience, our marketing class is creating the brochures and the marketing campaign for each club. Each day we donate 10% of our profits to a different club. Really?
Okay, so when you say club, you might be referencing the band, the marching band.
So far this year, we've had the Little Giants program, we've had the football program, boys and girls soccer program, show choir, and the marketing class has gone out, and every day we are open, 10% of our proceeds will go to one of those clubs.
Okay, so now I know that we just gave a lot of information really fast, and so for those of you who may not be aware of what we're talking about, Giant Bistro, what is this? You saw a little bit of video footage. Bring us up to speed. I know this is new. Now, this is a restaurant that is located where in Marion? It's just off the bypass. It's
just off the bypass, right there next to Indiana Oxygen. It used to be an old K Bistro building, and before that was the Dogs and Suds. We've got agreement with the landowner where we are running the restaurant. The kids do everything in the restaurant. They prepare the food. They created the menu. They set the prices. And so the whole entire restaurant is ran by the students, which when you talk about providing that real life scenario, a lot of restaurants that don't close because the kids don't know how to make the food. They close because of bad management. So now these kids are getting that expertise, so they will learn everything that there is from creating the menus, setting the people. The waitresses are students in the Culinary Arts program. So everything in there is done under the supervision of Chef Huber, but is done by the students of the program.
So then let me, when we were at break just a moment ago, one of the things that we were talking about that I was super impressed to hear is that, yes, you're giving that real life hands-on experience, but you mentioned the marketing class. That marketing class is not necessarily part of the Marion Regional Career Center, correct?
Correct. It's a regular Marion High School class, but we've want to try to incorporate a vertical alignment from our classes to our intro classes, because each one of our program has some intro classes, and we want to try to provide real life experiences, not just for the kids in the Career Center, but also kids in the high school. So another example of that, as we was talking about, is the accounting class. We're turning our receipts and our bills over to the accounting class, so they're using what they've learned in the accounting class, but using real life numbers.
Speaking of numbers, what are the hours that is open?
9 to 2, Tuesday through Friday.
So 9 to 2, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Tuesday through Friday. You can come over, you can grab a brunch or a lunch, and it's going to be prepared by the students just for you. And I understand they have a really lengthy menu. How many pages is your menu?
Our menu is 6 pages long, and I've been to other Career Centers restaurants, and usually their menus is 2, maybe 3 sandwiches and a couple sides. Ours is 6 pages long. We have breakfast, omelets, sandwiches, salads. It is a full, regular-sized menu.
Do you have a Facebook page or some way that people can...
Yes, you can go on Facebook at Giant Bistro, at Giant Bistro Marion, or you can also call in 667-6254.
Very good. Well, you know what? We are out of time for this segment, but we are going to be joined by Brad Lindsay in just a moment. You remember I was telling you about the National Giant News? Well, he's going to share all about that with us here in just a moment, and then stay with me because we're going to put him to test. We're going to see what his speedy report is. How much knowledge does he have about all of the highlights happening throughout the Marion Community School System? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more Giant Showcase in just a moment.
When doctors told me I would never walk again, somehow I knew I would. Whether you need support in a tragedy or just to make it through a bad day, prayer can make a difference. America, let's come together by believing with each other.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
All right, now I've been teasing you throughout the show, telling you that there's some fabulous national giant news that we're going to be sharing with you. And now is the time to find out what that is. With me is the superintendent of Marion Community School System, Brad Lindsay, and you are going to unveil what that big national giant news is. What is it?
Well, praise God from whom all blessings flow. But Truman Bennett, on the advanced placement calculus exam, scored a perfect score. He's one of 18 out of over 300,000 in the world.
Wow.
A perfect score in advanced placement.
Wow. Think about that. 300,000 students taking that test. He's one of 18. That is amazing. He's got to be so proud, and you have to be proud too.
Oh, we're so proud, and Truman's so great. You know, he gave God glory. Said God gives everyone gifts, and his is math. Gave his classmates, he gave his teacher, in this case, Mr. Porter, credit, gave his school, Marion High School, credit. So Truman is so kind, and we're so proud of that significant accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, he's been featured on USA Today, did a story on him, CBS, National News as well, and several other national publications, correct?
Absolutely, and also in the Fort Wayne television news as well as Indianapolis.
Very good. Well, you know, that kind of outstanding excellence needs to be spotlighted, so I'm glad that they're able to do that. Now, I understand that there's more national news, though, and that has to do with the Little Giants.
Yes, our Little Giants program has been nationally recognized by the National Department of Education. The United States Department of Education has recognized the Marion Little Giants program as the model for early childhood education.
And then there's one more that we got to sneak in there, and that has to do with the New Beginnings program.
Actually, there's three more. If
There's
I could
three
hit.
more?
There is.
Oh, please do. And we're going to put you to the test here in a minute. So yeah, don't get too excited.
At Allen Elementary, our New Beginnings program, which is intentional about developing characters, kind of a positive intervention program, developing the spirit, the mind, behaviors, and habits. It's really a learning system. It's had such great recognition that the State Department of Education has asked Anthony Williams, our principal, to represent Allen Elementary at the National Conference, Title I Conference. And so it's going to be nationally spotlighted and duplicated around the globe. In fact, schools from California have reached out here in the past week.
Well, I want you folks to think about that for just a minute. A program that was started here for positive intervention, character building, that is now going to go throughout the entire country, and it's going to be an example that other school systems are going to be able to follow. If that doesn't give you a sense of pride about the education that the students are receiving through Marion Community Schools, I don't know what will. Tell me about those other couple of things that you were just saying.
And how these all are happening is we want to find a better way every day for our kids. God gave us a creative mind, and then He's going to bless the diligent. So wise planning, a lot of hard work, and then keeping our mission, which is providing our very best for our kids. And that's how our staff, our team is creating these great opportunities. Also, on our advanced placement classes, we had more students take the national AP exams and pass than the national average. And then here, our JROTC state and Midwest champions are now competing at the nationals in the state of Georgia.
Wow. Wow. And, one other thing, we were talking with Marion Regional Career Center Director Mike Ripperger earlier about all of the fabulous things that are offered through that program. And I just had to say, I'm imagining you are pretty proud of that program. And that is something that not only Marion Community School System students can take advantage of, but county schools as well, right?
Absolutely. We're so thankful for our county partnerships. And so if you're at a county school, if you're at a private school, or you're being homeschooled and you'd like to participate in some of our career center opportunities or JRTC opportunities, you're more than welcome. And just make contact with the Career Center initially.
Very good. All right. Well, now, we've been promising you that we're going to put him to the test, right? He's talking about all the other tests and things that the students are going through, including Truman. But we're going to see just how much he knows about all the giant news that's happening throughout the entire Marion Community School System. So we're going to set the clock for 2 minutes. And I'm just going to let you go rapid fire and see how much you can fit into 2 minutes. It's going to be the fastest 2 minutes in the whole show. And if you like it, we'll keep doing it. So
they finally figured out how to keep my long-windedness down to a window of time.
I don't think he can do it, right? So you saw how long it took us to go through everything we just did. I don't know if he can do 2 minutes. So we're going to see, right? I'm going to count. Ready? Okay. So let's set the clock. You're going to see the clock. And everybody looking down at the bottom of the screen. There's the clock. And go.
God is so good. Our Marion Community Schools student enrollment is up. We're up 80 over this time a year ago. Glory be to God. Thank you for all the parents being Giants by choice. Thank you for our staff and for our community. Thank you for staying home and coming back home to Marion Community Schools. God is so good. This is a giant community victory. There's something for every student at Marion Community Schools. We're preparing our students from preschool all the way through 12th grade to be giants in life. We talked about Truman Bennett's perfect score in the advanced placement test in calculus. Unbelievable. We've got 2 national merit finalists, Anne Marie Conrad and Micah Hoeksma. That makes 5 national merit finalists at Marion High School over the past 3 years. First math competition of the year at Huntington University. There's 3 states involved, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. We got number 1. We defeated teams such as Zionsville and South Bend St. Joe's on the campus of University of Notre Dame. Our class of 2016 graduation rate is an all-time record, breaking 15, which was the record, breaking 14, which was the record. Through the first 10 months of 2016, the Indiana Department of Education has awarded 19 schools for promising practices, and Marion Community Schools has 3 of those 19 in the entire state. Our Giant Discovery Zone and our Power Hour extended day programs for all kids at all grade levels is making better happen. In the arts, we had the fastest growing music program, vocal and instrumental, in the state of Indiana. We're offering theater at the junior high and high school. Marion Giant Athletics, our fall sports had great accomplishments, including Riley Warland went to the state finals in tennis. Community victory, many great things are happening. The biggest victory we can say is our Marion Community School enrollment is up. This is a spiritual, a cultural, and an economic victory, and it's a revival for the community of Marion. Thank you for Community Marion for having faith and believing in Marion Community Schools, and together, united, God is going to bring us His best, and our best is yet to come.
Phew, you did. I lost track after 15. Okay, so maybe he proved me wrong, okay? He did do way better than I thought he would, right? Well, we're all out of time. We thank you so much for watching the Giant Showcase. Want to make sure that you stop by and visit our website, thegiantshowcase.com, and stay tuned for some more quality family programming that you can trust right here on WSOT TV. Thanks so much.